Ladies and gentlemen, this is Critical Drop again. My name is McKinley A. Smith, aka Power Trip. This is gonna be another video game review of a game that has been gone for a long time. This game had been released on the Nintendo GameCube and then later on the Nintendo Wii. This game has been gone missing for over 10 years and now it has been recently came back on the Nintendo Switch, and this game is called Super Mario Strikers Battle League. Now, is this game worth the 10 plus year hiatus or not so much compared to the other two, not compared to those previous games? Without further ado, let's go with the game review of Super Mario Strikers Battle League. Strikers is the fastest and less mainstream sport game than all the others. Golf, tennis, and all that stuff. I wasn't really a fan of those, but Strikers, when I played it in the GameCube version, if something felt different, something felt fresh, something made me feel alive about this game. Its intensity, the side characters, and many other things. In Super Mario Battle League, the pace, the edge, it comes back to you, and actually playing the match is really fun, though it's not as we get into it as the previous ones, and I'm going to explain why. You can play a match against the computer or another player, which is great, but the tournaments, they feel kind of lacking of sorts compared to its previous ones. In this game, though, the upside I really like, 8 players can play the game. Basically, anybody can pick their own character, which is cool, but I kind of like the fact that if whoever's player 1 or whoever's player 2 and player 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will be just the sidekick characters. If they bring back the sidekick characters, I would say this. Instead of being the whole squad the sidekick character, each player can pick their own sidekick, whoever is their favorite. Like from the Hammer Brothers, from Birdo, who may be a character, maybe. The Shy Guys, who may also be a character. The Hammer Brothers, Boo, or anything of that nature. As I said before, the tournaments, they don't bring out much emotion or say, oh, I need to win this tournament to get this or that. It really doesn't really bring out anything to me. So it's just like, it's kind of iffy. It's kind of iffy to me. This game lacks so much content compared to its previous two. But the irony of this game, compared to PlayStation and Microsoft, Nintendo has the weakest thing for online, but yet the online play is the best thing going for this game. Unbelievable. This game online, I get into in a match. So you know how sometimes when you get into a match and you don't really start off 1, 2, 3. This match lets you start off. I think the longest I ever waited for was like a minute and a half. And every single person's connection that I played against, even though I win some, even though I lose some, everybody's connection was flawless. So basically, that's the biggest upside to this game. Even though it's the lack of content, the online play is what sold it. Also, another thing, this game, it offers you a good time, no lie. The animation of the hyper strikes are physically beautiful, but I felt like But here's the thing, I felt like in the regular Super Mario Strikers is basically simple and straight to the point. The one for the Wii version, they basically look like freaking gods, for peak's sakes, and each of them have their own unique animation. They all look like gods and goddesses in their own way. This version, though, no lie, the animation is very good, and each of them have their own style, but it just, to me, it kind of doesn't really measure up to its previous ones. But though the animation is more clean than the other two when it comes to when it comes to the hyper strikes, which is a very very good thing to say. As I said, it's also superb whether you're lofting a dialogue diving or heck, the new feature they add, you tackle your own player so it could dive in front of your opponent. I actually like that. That was pretty slick. Kind of messed up though, but it's actually really slick. And each character has their own celebration, or when you're getting beaten down by your opponent, each of them have their own way of celebrating or saying that I need to get it together because I'm losing. Poor Yoshi crying as the list goes on. But ultimately, this game it has its way of getting to you. I like the tutorial. I love the tutorial. This is probably the upside to this game. Another upside, the animation, the tutorial is very good, and its online play is very impressive. The tutorial, it helps you guide you all the steps of the way, and it teach you very thoroughly, very carefully, and then eventually you're on your own, which I very understand and I really like. This game is basically straightforward and it makes you go on your own. But the few downsides of this game, the lack of content, the lack of characters in the game, sorry about that. Like I said, the lack of content, the lack of characters, and it doesn't bring that much intensity. I miss that slow motion when you pass the ball and try to go for a shot. They don't do that slow motion bullet time thing that they got rid of. They need to put that back. Overall, I would have given this game a 3 out of 5, honestly. But if it wasn't for the fact that the online play saved this game, it would kind of get into a higher score. But the only upside, there is an update to this game. There is an update to this game, and I just don't like the fact that they kind of rushed it and make it unfinished. So basically, the downside of this game, lack of content, field needs to be bigger, needs more characters, and so on and so forth. Overall, Super Mario Strikers gets 3.5 hyper strikes out of 5.